What's going on, guys? This should be somewhat of a quick video. I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to walk you through what we're doing for the week. So we're doing pancake editing. I'll walk you through that in just a moment. And then I'm going to do a quick tutorial in Premiere Pro. So I'll click that right now and get that booting up. When we're doing Premiere Pro, we're going to be doing pancake editing. I've given you a few. Oops, I'm in the wrong one. There we go. Okay. I've given you a few other videos that are off of YouTube that other people have. As always, I'll do that within the study materials folder. I'll go through those in just a moment as well. So welcome to week 3, pancake editing. So let me give you a brief little definition of pancake editing. There's nothing different actually on your editing when it comes to pancake editing. What pancake editing does is it is a way that you can take multiple chunks of footage, so lots of little footage. If you're out shooting something and you shoot a whole bunch of B-roll and some interviews or a narrative or whatever it may be, and you have a whole bunch of shots, let's say 10 or more. Pancake editing makes it so much easier because you can actually go through your footage very quickly and pull all the good shots and put them in order in a new timeline. So we're going to go through that. It's just a really good workflow. I was introduced to this about 5 or 6 years ago, and it changed my editing life. Probably sped up my major projects from, let's say I was putting 5 or 6 hours into a 2 or 3 minute project. It would almost half that. So instead of putting 5 or 6 hours in, I'd put 2.5 or 3 hours in, only because I don't have to go over, or whoever's pancake editing, you don't have to go over and constantly double click on each little clip. So we're going to go into that in the tutorial, but let me walk you through what we're doing this week. So let's see here, what you need to have completed. So complete all assignments to date. What that includes is the discussion question from last week. You should have had it posted by Wednesday to make sure by 5:30 p.m. to make sure that you get full credit. And then you need to always post 2 comments on people's original posts. So I'm seeing that there is kind of a lack in that, and unfortunately that is going to that can hurt your grade. You need to make sure you do these. We don't have one this week, but there's one most every week, and they add up. If you decide just not to do the full discussion question each week, whether you just post a question but you don't comment on anybody else's, or you just don't do it at all, if you didn't do any of them, you'd lose 1 full letter grade for the quarter, or for not the quarter, I guess the semester. This is an 8-week course. So absolutely, positively, make sure you do your discussion questions every week. They're simple. It's usually fairly thought-provoking of what we've just learned the week before, or even potentially that week. And it just lets you express what you understood or what you didn't understand. And then people can jump in. It's really, really a good idea. So you need to make sure that you have your discussion questions done, have those turned in, and then also complete week 2 assignments, your multicam edit. That was the guy sitting on the stage singing Summer. I was looking for a dynamic title, something more than just your standard fade in, fade out, or zoom in, zoom out. I wanted you to go and search for a cool graphic that you could create, a tutorial on YouTube so you could learn more about that particular portion of Premiere Pro. I've gotten several turned in already, and some of you have done that and some of you did not. So please remember, when you're doing your assignments, read all the steps of the assignment so you can clearly understand. And if you don't understand, hit me up with an email right away. I want you guys to get every single point. Because this is an advanced class, I have to grade a little bit harder than a beginner class. I'm expecting that you guys know all the basics, and so we're now bringing up the level of your editing. And I'll be honest, I absolutely hate deducting points from people, but at the same time, if you don't fulfill what is written on the assignment page, I have to deduct points. So please don't make me do that. I don't like doing that. I love giving 100% because you worked really hard and you followed all the directions. That's what I love to do. All right. And this week's responsibilities: watch all the study materials and work on completing week number 3's assignment with pancake editing. All right, here we go. Go to the next page. And here's our study materials. So as I said, over here on the study materials page, I have given you pancake editing videos, as well as some timeline stuff here. So we'll go through each one. This is just a basic pancake editing. This one in here is specific to anything before Premiere Pro 2022. So if you have Premiere Pro 2022 or before, you want to definitely click over here on this one. And this is going to take you into some text. Secondly, we have just pancake editing. These are some techniques, and these are just descriptions. And then I also wanted you to take a look at what a real Hollywood edit looks like. Lots of times with my beginner moving into intermediate editors, what we see in our timeline is you see people with just like one, maybe two layers of video and then 1 or 2 layers of audio, and they just kind of alternate back and forth between those 2 layers. Yes, you can do that. Absolutely. But there's a reason and a meaning for having more. So when we look down here at this one, I can actually walk you through fairly quickly what this is. We'll zoom in here and I'll kind of give you a little walkthrough. So when you have your timeline right here, so you have video footage 1, video footage 2, video footage 3, and video footage 4. So these are all of your main chunks of footage, and some people might even add more to it. They may have video footage 5, 6, 7, 8, and go all the way up. If it's a narrative story with multiple characters, many times you'll see each main character have their own line of, or their own layer within Premiere Pro. The reason why you want to do this is, like, if you want to go back and make changes. So let's say you're doing an edit for a client, and they're like, "Oh, so and so did such and such." Well, you know, if that person they're asking for did something, you know that that's going to be on their layer. So if you're like, "Oh, Bill is my layer 2," and you maybe on yours you would name, instead of video 2, you name it Bill footage. Bill did something. It's like you can go through Bill's footage and you can scrub your timeline and find that shot really quick and easy. If Sally did something else, oh, you can scrub Sally's line and do that. Okay, so having multiple layers, more than just 2, for people is great. But then you also have a visual effects layer. So if you have a layer where, there's some of you, I know there's a couple of you in this class that have taken my After Effects course and have learned some of those visual effects. You can put your shots in here that you want visual effects done to, and then you can just go over and open up After Effects, go do your visual effects. It populates into Premiere Pro, so your visual effect automatically appears. Well, that's a good place you can have this. If you have a template or color grading, this one right here is a Video 6 is a template grade. So what they've done is they've taken just a standard template and they've thrown that on there, and it's color graded. So they can color grade all the footage. So it all, let's say it's supposed to be really hot, and so they've made it a little more orange colored. They could have their template, so it's, making it look a little bit more orange with their color grading, and they can do that. All right. This is a matte layer, so if you ever needed to use a matte. Subtitles. So you may or may not in the future, if something you're creating, need to make subtitles. This could be your subtitle layer. And then there's another VFX info layer right here. So you can actually have this to be able to turn on and off. So you can let, like, the director, if they're watching your cut, look and see what you've done with your visual effects. And it also, notice how they correlate with these directly. So then we come down here to our audio layers, and it's like mono A1, A2, A3, A4, voice VO for voiceover, mono effects, and there's all these effects, and there's a stereo, so this is probably their music bed. So when you're building out your layers, you could have dialogue from each individual person. So each person here, let's say you have Bill and Sally, well, then you're gonna have a Bill and Sally audio layer. If you have Bill, Sally, and Fred up here for video, you're gonna have Bill, Sally, and Fred down here. Then you can have your sound effects layers. That's generally what you're doing from A6 through A8. Sometimes it looks like on this one all the way down to A10. These are all audio sound effects, all these orange ones. So you can put sound effects in and you can build layers. There's many, many times that you'll be building layers of sound effects, and you're gonna have like lightning going on in the background. If you come and take my class next quarter, or at the end of this quarter, for the last 8 weeks, you take post production 2. You'll understand the lightning reference because there's something you'll edit with lightning. You're going to hit lightning and thunder in there, but then you might have the creak of a door and maybe a wolf howling in the background. Again, another reference to one of the projects we do next quarter with a mad scientist. And then you also maybe have like the bubbling of beakers and things like that. Well, you can have all of those in these layers because you're going to layer it. Pro tip, as you're creating bigger and better videos, audio is really where you make things shine. Yeah, most people can really get the knack of doing a pretty clean edit with, pretty clean shots and make it look good. But adding beautiful audio and really building the atmosphere of the story you're telling is where you want to be. So sound effects is something next quarter we're going to get really deep into, because we're going to, if you take that class from me, we're going to actually take a 5-minute short film that was shot on a very professional level, and you get all the raw footage to be able to go in there and pick out all the pieces and build this film and make it your own. And then down here at the bottom, they have their music. So you almost always have some form of a music bed, unless whatever it is you're creating doesn't call for it, but most of the time they do. So that's my quick and easy run through. But you want to jump on that, take a look, and think about when you're building things. All right, so you have your pancake editing videos. You have a Hollywood professional timeline video that explains it for you even more. I did a really quick, brief overview. This one's a little bit better. I highly recommend taking a look at that. And then this is for you to take a look at and just be able to view it. Alrighty here, and then this is your assignment for this week. All right, everyone has been through Fundamentals of Video Editing. I hope everyone enjoyed that course and took away a lot of knowledge. That's something that I used to teach that class when I actually lived in Prescott. Loved teaching that class. It was super fun. So, as it says right here, I'm referencing that course unless they changed it. We used to do a thing called Theft Unexpected. I am not sure if that is currently being taught with the whoever the teaching the new one is. From my understanding, they took my class and they've manipulated it and such, the Canvas pages that I've created. So it might still be in there, but that was a dialogue between two people. Okay, so what you're doing here is this is a brand new one, again shot on a fairly professional level in front of an LED wall. If you've seen The Mandalorian, that's in a volume. That's how this was shot. This was shot in a smaller version of a volume. I was the lead producer on it, so I still have all the footage, and you guys get through this. It was a little commercial for another college that I was working at, so it was pretty fun. So here was what we're doing. This is time for round 2. I have provided assets, video, and audio clips, as well as some graphic assets. Your job is to use those assets and your newfound passion for editing with pancake editing, because you will now be trying to do that, to create the scene. Okay. There are multiple takes, angles, and cutaways, as well as insert shots to put together in a fun spaceship scene. I have provided an edit, so one for you to look at, with the materials so you can reference it. Okay, this is a real set of assets, like how you would receive them on a professional level. Okay, the only thing that I did is I believe that I matched the audio for you. If not, you have to do what I said in here. I can't remember because it's been several weeks since I built this page. So anyway, if I did not match the audio, you're going to need to read the slates and listen to the slate match and sync the audio. So what that means is, you've all seen where that person goes up there with the little stripey guy with the little clacker and says, "Scene 2, take 4, mark," and they clack it together and they walk away and they go action. So you're going to need to sync those things. Well, actually, for reference, let me click on this to download it. We'll download that right now. Oops. Here it is. Movie. Let me download this. I think it's right here. There we go. Download. So that'll be populating into my download folder while I go through this, and we'll go through that with our markings, so I can kind of give you a real time look at it. Make sure you manage the names of the assets before you start editing. It will take you a couple hours just to go through all the footage and match it and mark it. Okay. As well, do your best to make this look professional. This is a video for a client. So for this whole quarter, every single thing that you do should look professional when you turn it in. This is something that you do for a client. Okay, that's what we're going for. So when I grade these, if they are professional in look, and I realize you guys, most of your guys' second class, maybe you've taken some other ones, but for a lot of you, it's your second class. I'm going to look at this and I'm going to see if you have really tried to make this as professional as possible. If you haven't and you've just kind of slapped it together, that's where you start losing some points. Okay, and again, as I said a couple minutes ago, I really, really, really don't like to take points away. I hate it. It hurts my heart. Okay, look right here. So this is downloading 1.8 gigs. Is it having a little bit of trouble? It might be having a little bit of trouble. It's going to open it when it's complete. Let's see if that gets downloaded. If not, I'm going to go through the other things, and I won't be able to show you the graphic for graphic match, but it should be fairly upfront. So create a 1 minute to 1.5 minute edit using a pancake timeline that provides assets. Feel free to create your own and find additional assets that work with the story. So what I mean by this is you're going to create a pancake edit. I'm giving you a bunch of assets. If there is music, sound effects, a planet that you want to insert in there, if there's anything that I have not provided that you go, man, that would look really great in this film and footage, do it. Please go source that and put it in there. Make it your own. I'm giving you the basics that you need. And then if you need more things or want more things to make it look professional, do it. At the beginning of this, I built a 3D planet with a spaceship flying away and all kinds of things like that. You can do stuff like that, or you could have it pick up in just the exterior of a spaceship shot out in space, or whatever it is you want to do. You may have some bleeps and bloops and computer sounds and all kinds of stuff that you may want to use. By all means, feel free to go source things. And dare I say, I highly recommend you do so to make yours stand out and feel professional, and it's your own. I don't want to just have to provide footage after footage after footage, and you just use what I give you and that's it. Okay, be creative this semester. Build things, grow things, make things that really excite you and stoke you out. Don't just do stuff because, hey, Mr. Sheets gave this to us. Here, I just slapped it together. It's done. Make it your own. Go source your own music and visual effects and special effects and pictures and other video sources. Go shoot new things to fit in there if you can make it work. Okay, I highly recommend that. Okay, number 2, add music and sound effects to create a rich audio experience. Balance your vocal tracks, music tracks, and sound effects so they all work well together. What that means is nothing is overpowering something else. Okay, I don't want your vocal track so loud we can't hear anything else. I don't want your music track, the music bed that's giving the ambiance, the feel of the scene. I don't want that overpowering the audio. I don't want the sound effects to be so loud or so soft you either can't hear them, or they're so loud that it's like it just kind of disturbs you when they hit. Okay, so balance those audio levels, and you're going to have multiple tracks. Remember, you're going to add a music bed. That's required. Add a sound effect bed, or not a bed, sound effects track, or more than one, as I said earlier. Okay, this is the key part. Create a rich audio experience. Okay, so this is our beginning of creating a rich audio experience that we are going to continue on for next year and all the rest of the assignments this semester. Okay, balance your vocal tracks, music tracks, and sound effects. Okay, so I want them to sound good. All right. Create an interesting title animation and credits in Premiere Pro. So again, like this last week, so like week 2, I want you to go and find a tutorial on YouTube that shows you something new you've never done for graphics for Premiere Pro. Okay? There are great places all around the internet that can show you stuff. They'll do you step by step. I'm looking for something interesting and original. Don't just do the same old thing. Don't fade in, fade out. Don't grow and shrink. Don't have it slide across the screen. I want you to use masks. I want you to have different graphics and text. I want it to animate onto the screen in a special way that fits what your video is about. Okay? So, right here, create an interesting title, animation, and credits. So, interesting title, animation, interesting credits. Okay? Not the same old, same old. In Premiere Pro or After Effects, as I said, some of you have used After Effects before. If you have used After Effects, I highly recommend doing so. It's much more powerful, and feel free to go and find a tutorial that has a cool graphic or graphic animation that fits this. Okay, use the tutorial to learn a new motion graphic method is advised. See, I'm says it right there. I hadn't even read that part when I'm reading it to you. I was just already talking about it. Feel free to make up names for all the production positions like director, producer, camera operator, key grip, pilot, co-pilot, etc. So actors and people out on set. If you want to put me in there because I was the producer on this, sure, use Christopher Sheets as the producer. But you can just make up names, okay? But I want you to make graphics as if this is a short film that you've created. So we want to make it professional, okay? Export this in 720p, upload it to Vimeo or YouTube, and turn the link in here, okay? Right down here is a 1:20 video, okay? This is, if we cruise through here, this is from the footage. There is a graphic created in After Effects. All of this stuff is given to you. You're able to create this. And then as you can see in this shot right here, it's kind of tough here, but when you watch it, you can look at it. You can see the titling across the top of the volume wall, and you can see our little set. So have fun with this. Create something of your own. All right?